Hello and welcome to BYJU'S IAS. Let's get started and look into our daily quiz. Let's look into the first question. Which of the following are the mountain railways of India and are designated as UNESCO World Heritage Site? Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, Nilgiri Mountain Railway, Kalka Shimla Railway, Kangra Valley Railway, Matheran Light Railway. Which of them are designated as the UNESCO World Heritage Site and a part of the mountain railways of India? The answer to this is 1, 2 and 3 only. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article here makes a mention of Darjeeling Himalayan Railways. There are about 3 mountain railways of India and they are also designated as the UNESCO World Heritage Site. First, it includes the Darjeeling Himalayan Railways. Where is it? It is in the state of West Bengal. Then we have the Nilgiri Mountain Railways. Where is it? It is in Tamil Nadu. Followed by Kalka Shimla Railway. Where is it? It is in Himachal Pradesh. These are the mountain railways of India which is also accorded UNESCO World Heritage Site. The other two are in the tentative list. They are yet not part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Apart from these, we have the Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus in Mumbai, which is also part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. So totally from railways, we have about 4, which includes Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, Nilgiri Mountain Railway, Kalka Shimla Railway and Chhatrapati Shivaji Terminus Mumbai, which was added in 2004 as part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now let's look into the next practice question. Consider the following statements. They are a fine variant of shawls spun from Kashmiri wools. These shawls were indicators of wealth and part of rich women's dowry in India, Nepal and Pakistan. It has been designated under Geographical Indications Registry of India. The above statements best describe: is it Shatu shawl, Kani shawl, Pashmina shawl or Paisley shawl? The answer to this is Pashmina shawl. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article here makes a mention of Pashmina shawls. Basically, when we speak about Pashmina, this is a fine type of Kashmiri wool. This comes from a distinct breed of Kashmiri goat, namely Chantangi or the Kashmir Pashmina goat from the Chantang Plateau in Kashmir region, Maldra from Kargil area in Kashmir region, Chegu from Himachal Pradesh, Chayangara or Nepalese Pashmina goat from Nepal. When the wool is extracted from these breeds of Kashmiri goat, that is what is called as Pashmina wool. The word Pashmina comes from Persian. It stands for wool and literally translates to soft gold in Kashmiri. Pashmina shawls are usually hand-spun. They are woven in Kashmir and Nepal, and at the same time the Kashmir Pashmina has also been registered under the geographical indication status. Now let's look into the next practice question. 38th parallel recently seen in news demarcates USA and Mexico, Turkey and Syria, North and South Korea, Africa and Europe. The answer to this is North and South Korea. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article here makes a mention of North Korea. So what is this 38th parallel? This is a demarcation line between North Korea as well as South Korea. The article further goes on to say that there is an increase in the nuclear activities of North Korea according to United Nations Atomic Agency. Now let's look into the next practice question. With reference to partnership for clean fuels and vehicles, which of the following statements is or correct? It is the European Union's action to curb air pollution by cars. It is the only global scale effort dedicated to cleaner air and lower greenhouse gas emissions from road transport through the introduction of cleaner fuels and vehicles. Which of the statements are correct? The answer to this is 2 only. Why have we taken this practice question? Because this article here makes a mention of leaded petrol, and one of the initiatives which wanted to bring an end to the leaded petrol happens to be Partnership for Clean Fuels and Vehicles. What is this Partnership for Clean Fuels and Vehicles? This happens to be one of the leading global public and private initiative for what? For promoting cleaner fuels and vehicles in developing countries and those countries which are in transition. This was initially established at the World Summit on Sustainable Development when back in the year 2002. We also have the PCFV, which support multiple countries, and it is coordinated by the Secretariat, which is based at United Nations Environmental Program, which is headquartered at Nairobi in Kenya. So kindly remember, the PCFE is known for two initiatives. One is to phase out the leaded petrol. The other is reduction of sulfur in the vehicle fuels. Why did they wanted to come up with this initiative? That is because leaded petrol, though it was to improvise the efficiency of the engine performance will improve, but this could have disastrous consequences for the health of the human beings. Soon after the production began in United States of America, back in the year 1922, many people passed away. They also had neurological problems, they had convulsions, multiple organ failures as well. So the leaded petrol causes major heart problems. It also causes stroke and cancer as well. And it is also being said that the IQ of the children was dropped by 5 to 10 IQ points, which is why the global community wanted to bring an end to leaded petrol. And after many years, what we currently have is that the leaded petrol has been completely eliminated from the earth. So basically, the banning of this leaded petrol will help in preventing about 1.2 million premature deaths every year. It will increase the IQ of the children, and it will also save about $2.45 trillion to the global economy as well. So recently, Algeria, some of the countries which were using these leaded petrol, have also promised that they'll stop the production of leaded petrol, and as a result, we have brought an end, or the leaded petrol will be eradicated, says the United Nations Environmental Program. It is this that we have to understand in reference to this article. Now let's look into the next practice question. Brominated flame retardants are used in many household products like mattresses and upholstery. Why is there some concern about their use? They are highly resistant to degradation in the environment. They are able to accumulate in humans and animals. Select the correct answer using the code given below. The answer to this is both 1 and 2. Now the question is, what is this brominated flame retardant? These are nothing but a large class of compounds. They belong to the organohalogens. These brominated flame retardants are used in multiple industries. Let's say, for example, the plastic industry, the textile industry, or the electrical and the electronic equipment. Why? Because this is acting as a flame retardant, which means they would be able to prevent the spread of fire. That is an advantage, and it also costs less as well, and at the same time it also has high performance as well. But this also has negative implications where they would be able to accumulate in the human beings, and at the same time it is highly resistant to the degradation. So both the options are right, which is why the answer to this would be 1 and 2. This happens to be a previous year question from the year 2014. Now let's look into the fact of the day. The fact of the day for today's discussion is National Small Industries Day. This is celebrated every year on August 30th. So kindly remember, every year on August 30th, we celebrate the National Small Industries Day. Why? So that we encourage small businesses in the country so that they would be able to increase the productivity in our economy, thereby also generate jobs and provide employment opportunities in the country. So what are the three objectives? Encourage the businesses, bring in growth in the economy, and also generate employment opportunities in the country. As a result, they would be able to develop both the rural areas where they have considerable presence and also in the urban areas as well. Previously, back in the year 2007, we had one of the ministries called as the Ministry of Small Scale Industries. We also had another ministry, Ministry of Agro and Rural Industries. Both were merged together, and today what we have is the Ministry of MSME, which looks into the small industries. So kindly remember, in the earlier scenarios, we had the Ministry of Small Scale, but now that is done away with, and what we have is a single ministry called as the Ministry of MSME. The Ministry of MSME has come up with multiple schemes and programs. This can be very important from the preliminary examination point of view and also from the mains examination point of view. What is it? We have the Udyam registration, we have the Champions portal, National SCST hub, and we also have Self-Reliant India Fund. What is this Udam registration? This is an online and simplified procedure of filing of registration which enables MSMEs to obtain registration without any documentation or fees. Thereby, it will help in ease of doing business. Next we have is the Champions portal. Champions is an online platform to help and handhold the MSMEs, especially in the difficult time. It is an ICT based technology system aimed at making smaller units big by solving their grievances, encouraging, supporting, helping and hand-holding throughout the business life cycle. There is a small company. This small company has multiple impediments. They want to advance and become a larger company as well, but during this transition from a small company to a larger company, they will have multiple issues. So identifying these issues, the company will put it across to the government. So the government will look into these policy problems and ultimately bring an end to such impediments. That is what is the Champions portal. Next we have is the National SCST Hub, where the National SCST Hub has been launched to promote entrepreneurship culture in the SCST community and fulfill the 4% procurement target mentioned in the Public Procurement Policy Order of 2018. So this will give boost to the entrepreneurship among the SCST community, and these are the people who are basically into the small industries as well as the medium industries. Finally, we have the Self-Reliant India Fund. This is to facilitate equity financing of about rupees 50,000 crore in the MSME sector. These are some of the initiatives taken by the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. It is this that we have to understand in reference to this topic. So this is it for today. Thank you for watching. All the best.